in this domain, I would suggest that do some certifications, various kinds of, and then I think you can understand that, oh, this area I'm not getting bored, because we all know that Coursera certificates can get boring sometimes.
Yeah.
And this I was actually seeing that what the competition is doing again,
Yeah.
like SEOs and everything.
Hmm.
So although they had a media representative, but then since I was an intern, they let me also do the homework.
Hi guys, welcome on board. I'm your host Himanshi Singh and welcome to Skill Sapien podcast. Here we have our guest today, Rutika Joshi, part of PR and media team in Symbiosis, and has done a lot of internships, a lot of life projects in the marketing field during her post grad time and whatnot. So, hi Rutika, welcome on board.
Hi, Manshi. That's a great introduction. So, yeah, I'm excited for today.
Yeah, so that's not a great introduction. That's what you all great things you have done in your like full experience of your college. So that's great for us that we have you on board today. It's a pleasure hosting you. And so yeah, so how's your experience working in aspect ratio? How it's going right now?
So I've recently joined. So it's been over 3.5 months as of
Yeah.
now. So it's been great. I mean, I didn't expect that I would. I was actually aiming for a marketing, kind of role, but then I stumbled upon this,
Hmm.
company. Eventually, and I think it's great because it's the secondary market research kind of role.
Yeah.
So we have to scour a lot of databases, and it's qualitative as well as quantitative, so both for pharma industry basically.
Hmm.
So I think
Hmm.
that pharma being not from a pharma domain, it was slightly difficult initially, as one would say. But then I got into the swing of it. So I think the work is great. The work culture is great. They're very
That's more
flexible with all
important.
the timings. Right.
Yeah.
The work-life balance, they value it a lot. So I think
Yeah.
that's one of the important things.
That's great. That's great. So what I went through your profile and it was mentioned that you're a marketing enthusiast, right? So
Right.
how does your role fit here? Like competitive analysis, marketing enthusiast, how it's going on? Like how's the combination going?
So I would say that it is not like directly marketing per se, but then there's
Hmm.
a lot of secondary market research. So
Hmm.
we have to see that. So it's again competitive intelligence space. So what we
Hmm.
do is that again for we have a client, we see that there are XYZ amount of client, I mean competitors, and
Yeah.
then we have to see that what are their sales projections, what are
Hmm.
their new medicines or vaccines they're coming up with. So in a way that we are on top of the marketing competition. So not like basically campaigning or something like that, but it's just that we are actually watching or seeing that how they are leveraging this competition space and marketing what all things they are doing in the. And then we have to report again that in a PPT, a deck, or a report kind of a thing, that like X client is doing this and this in the marketing space, and we should do such and such things,
Hmm.
so like that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so can you tell me in brief about your role there, like competitive analysis? They told me a lot of things right now in the same question, but what exactly is
Right.
all about in competitive? Because people are like curious to know about new roles, which they can do.
Right.
Like everybody is like running behind those monotonous maximum number of people, like those mundane monotonous things that there's financial analyst, there's marketing analyst, but what's like competitive analyst? Like through name we can like judge what is it, but yeah, we want to know more.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I also heard it for the first time when I went into the company that I
Mm.
am in the. So the name is Global Competitive Intelligence Space. So
Okay.
what it entails is that again you have to be on the top of your competition,
Yeah.
for our clients. And we have to scour all the kind of, we have to exhaust all our resources again, as I said, in terms of
Mm.
sales, be it in terms of the marketing campaigns they're doing, or in
Yeah.
terms of what all kind of international territories they're trying to expand. So
Yeah.
again, our clients want to know that what all medicines or vaccines or different kinds of again medications, treatments they're trying to inculcate in their again process,
Mm.
and what all things they are trying to focus. For example, in Africa, if there's malaria and dengue, um,
Yeah.
you know uh, uh, I think malaria and dengue, which is getting there. So I think that our client also want to know that which all companies are trying to target that space in
Yeah.
Africa.
Mm.
Example, malaria vaccines are
Mm.
there, for dengue vaccines are there. So they also want to know that in maybe Africa or in Europe, if there's something prevailing, some disease is prevailing. So what all companies are targeting those diseases areas. So that's it all about basically.
That's really crazy because in this case you'll be learning a lot of things about other countries, what's going on, what's the situation, what's the
Yes.
condition, everything, like almost everything. So all the folks there,
Yes.
this is also one of the field where you can do your jobs. Yeah, so who are searching
Yes.
for something new, something very interesting. So I guess there are a lot of people out there, might be your friends also, that who wanted to like work in some different domain, like not a monotonous one, not a
Hmm.
finance job or a simple marketing job, but a growth, wanted to enter into some new product. So was there something in your mind also, like what do you want to do, a specific role?
Yes.
So yeah.
I had actually,
Yeah.
and this was again something new, as I already said. I didn't
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
know that this space is there or something like that. So I had interned with Finolex Industries. So
Okay.
there I learned a lot about traditional marketing as well as digital marketing.
Okay.
So that was like that's a product based company. Again, they're selling pipes across the country, and
Okay.
so I had worked in the digital marketing team as well, wherein all the campaigns, all the social media handles. I was actually seeing that what the competition is doing again,
Yeah.
like SEOs and everything.
Hmm.
So although they had a media representative, but then since I was an intern, they let me also do the homework. Like you also
Hmm.
do it. So it was a great experience in that manner. And I also did traditional marketing. So
Okay.
I actually went on the roadshow of three cities, wherein so they had sent me to Bilaspur, to Raipur, and to Ahmedabad as well. So there were road shows being done on behalf of Inelix, and then I had to see that is it going the way we wanted to? Is it the messaging which we're trying to communicate? As we know that in marketing, communication is the most important thing, because if you're
Yes.
not able to communicate what you're trying to portray in all those banners and everything,
Would
so I think
fail.
that yeah, it would fail miserably. So they had just sent me to see overall things, if they're going fine or not, and to report them back again here in Pune. So I got a lot of exposure in those 2 months of
Okay.
actual core marketing. So I had
Okay.
always in my mind that this is something I want to do, and actually every day when I wake up at that time, I used to feel like I'm going to do something interesting. It was not like again ki अरे यार वापस काम पे जाना है, something like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
So because every day I was directly working under the vice president of marketing there. So he gave me a lot of freedom, he gave me a lot of insights as well, that what the industry entails, because again I had done engineering, I had no clue what this marketing domain entails. Again, theoretical knowledge is there, but that doesn't count as practical knowledge.
Yeah. So,
So I think that
yeah,
was that.
exactly. So with the same, the next question would be like, if there's anyone, like any junior or someone out there, or to all the folks out there, so how they would decide? Can you give some suggestion that how they'll be able to decide the approach they need to follow in order to discover which job role, which company is suitable for them? I believe that company, so they can't select, obviously, because it
Right.
we know the ones who have done their have are sitting in their placement process, they know you can't choose the company will choose you. That's how it works, I
Right.
guess. So how do they define a good job role? Even company, like if they want to get into a dream company, so how do they decide that?
First of all, in this domain, I would suggest that do some certifications, various kinds of, and then I
Hmm.
think you can understand that, oh, this area I'm not getting bored, because we all know that Coursera certificates can get boring
Yeah,
sometimes. So I had also done a few of them. Like before coming to MBA, I had done HR while also. I thought that I am not able to concentrate what the person is saying. So that's when when I did this introduction to marketing from, I guess, UPenn, I actually got the kick that, oh, this is what something I am interested in. This is what I'm liking. So I think the first step would be to do a few, maybe not certification, watch some YouTube videos. They're free.
yeah. But
So
even
and
my,
that's
yeah,
when,
yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, no, no,
Okay.
that's when you will discover. That's just the point.
Exactly, exactly. Even my first step was to do certifications because I am also marketing enthusiast and I am a BCom graduate. So from finance to marketing, the whole path completely changed. So when I was
Right,
doing my finance certification, it was like just a homework for me. Like you have to complete it and submit it. But when I was
right,
doing my marketing project, it was like, okay, now I have to do this. Okay, I want to do that also. So when this thing comes in your mind, right, I'm doing this, but I want to do more of this. So
right,
that's the time when you figure out, okay, this is something which is making me fall like, which is like I'm inclining towards this thing, and I have some sort of interest in this. So now you can like take that path
right.
forward and move ahead with it, right? Okay. So,
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
your like? How's your experience in your company, and how's your PR? Like you worked in your marketing and PR team in your college, Symbiosis.
Mm-hmm.
So there, how's that experience helping you out here?
So again, I would say that this is something very different, not directly. Because again, when I was in Finolex, I had a lot of edge because I was working in PR, and that job entailed again marketing skills. Here,
Hmm.
it is a bit of indirect way. Again, we have to make decks. We have to represent the data in a presentable format.
Hmm.
So that's where I think the PR and media thing has helped me again to present myself, because
Yeah.
I went to a few places again to present to represent the college, again in Crack It with SIIB. There's this campaign done in my college, so I went to around 4 to 5 cities at that point in time.
Hmm.
So that one experience has helped me that I can present myself in a better way, because before, prior to that experience, I did not have any experience,
Presenting
talking in front of a
yourself.
crowd. Yeah, presenting in front of a crowd. And apart from that, again, as I said, I was in the creatives team
Hmm.
in public relations and media committee. So that creative thing is helping me again in presenting the deck, or again, as I said, analyzing the data in a proper way. So
Yeah, because ultimately, I believe that even if you are part of any small team or a big one, you are having an important role or a small role, I would say that
right.
it gives you like an exposure to all the
Hmm.
experience because you never know what's coming your way. You never know. Like, you never
Right,
know, okay, you will be working as a competitive analyst in like aspect ratio. So
right.
right now when you're working over there, so you like, hey, okay, I have at least a lot of experience so that I can now be flexible enough, like work here
Right.
also. If given a core marketing job, you can work there also. So yeah, to all the folks out there, don't hesitate in participating in your clubs and committee and all those things because that is really really important. I guess Ruchika would also agree with the same.
Yes, I think that gives a lot of exposure to teamwork as well. There are a lot of
Yeah.
different kinds of people, and then you have to, and when you are given a task, you have to complete it anyhow. And that coordination helps you a lot in the corporate experience as well, because again, you're working in teams.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
think that helps really.
So, what's your company all about? Like aspect ratio? Can you tell the folks out there?
So aspect ratio is a basically business analytics domain consultant.
Okay.
So here we have clients for whom, so there's an again analyst part wherein you're doing the forecasting, or you're doing the that um, again quantitative analysis, I would say, the sales projections and that sort of thing. And then there's data strategy again. So in data strategy, what happens is that you'll have to figure out what kind of databases you all prefer to do a certain thing. So in pharma domain, there are various kind of databases. IQVIA, one of them is, and there's AlphaSense. So these are again terms which you'll not know, but since again I'm working in pharma domain, I just have a little bit of idea. So they have to figure out what kind of databases to scour to get a particular thing. The sales data, some particular database would be showing. The projections, the future projections, some other database would show. So this
Okay.
all things are there. And then which my domain is global competitive intelligence, in which we scour the
Okay.
competition.
Yeah. So, any of your current achievement or some project which you would have done over here in aspect ratio, like which you feel like are comfortable talking about and is an achievement for you on your level.
Mm, Again, as I said, that pharma coming not from a pharma domain, and there are a lot of people who are from that domain.
Yeah.
First of all, understanding the industry, the
Hmm.
market, was the most difficult part for me. Not just the
Yeah.
industry, but then when it comes down to the actual bottom level, that how is this medicine working?
Yes.
So that I'm not going to understand anyway,
Hmm.
because I have not ever taken biology. But to understand the holistic view of it, that okay, so the vaccines are for protecting, the medicines are for this, the treatments are done for oncology, for cancers. So I think
Yeah.
that for me, that was the most what I would say difficult part that I overcame in 1 month or so. And then they gave me a few projects, but then again, these are not the big ones because I'm just a new, um, I mean, joining here. So there are few projects, like there are few projects again in which the competitive landscapes are made. So
Hmm.
in which there's a big decks and all that go project presentations. So in that I have helped. So again, my presentation skills were used there, and the understanding of the pharma domain again, it helped me. So that I think is a big like win for me as of now. Again, I have not done a lot of projects, so to understand the market was very difficult part.
Okay. So, what ongoing learning opportunity or mentorship program does your company offers? Like, what is there to sharpen your skills?
So they have again given access to Coursera. I mean, if we want to do something, and
Hmm.
apart from that, there are a lot of. I mean, all the things which we just have to tell them that you want to do such course in such thing, and they're like, okay, it will get done. You can do
Yeah.
that, and it will get
Yeah.
maybe reimbursed or
That's
something.
really
So
great.
I think that's yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's a very cooperative behavior. Like when you're in a corporate world, when you enter the
right,
corporate world, it's very difficult for you to like understand each and everything on a practical base at
right.
first. But when you get into it, like if it's even if it's just 15 days or 1 month of working, then you're like slowly,
Mm-hmm.
gradually, like it's the funda of 21 days, you remember? There's this thing that if you do something for like 21 days, and
Right.
yeah, and on the 22nd day, you will do it automatically and so it will happen to you.
Habit.
So yeah,
Right.
I believe that's true. Because when you
Mm.
do something for this time span, then that things gradually start happening to you, like it'll just be in your habit, a part of your life. So but
Right.
yeah, but in those 21 days I believe a lot of support from your organization is required because you need that at that
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So
People are supportive
yeah,
in that case.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, they have to be. So how does your company culture promote like work life balance? You mentioned about work life balance. So what according to you first of all is work life balance, and how does your
Hmm.
company supports that?
So according to me, I think flexi timing is one of the main thing. So the timing is again flexible. You can come,
Yeah.
but it's just that you have to complete the designated hours and tasks that is assigned to you.
Yeah.
And if you've done that, I think you can come at any time. So that is the most I think the interesting thing which I liked about the company, because in my previous, as I had already mentioned, I have worked for L&T Technology Services for about 26
Oh,
months. So in that company, there was like designated time frame. So you have to come at 9, you have to leave at 6:30 or something like that. So that for me was like very, I don't know, I didn't like it.
yeah. So
So
can you tell me,
right
you
now,
like, yeah, yeah, exactly. So L&T Technology is a big brand name. We all know, right?
right.
And at the same time, aspect ratio is something that people are still not like not the maximum number of people who know L&T Technology would know
Yeah,
aspect ratio, right? So
right.
here in the frame, like, can you tell us more about your experience in L&T Technology? Because the folks out there, they're running behind brands, but they don't know
Right.
one thing, that the maximum number of knowledge which you gain is not from the brands, are from the startup companies, because you work closely with them, you work close knitted with them. Yeah. So what is your experience in what was your experience in L&T Technology?
The experience, again, I would say it was a fine experience. I feel that when you work for a big brand and when you work for a like a small or medium sized company, the only difference is that there you're just, I feel like you're replaceable. They have a lot of people who are waiting just to replace you. And that
Yes.
also, the people are there who are like, just for the certification, they are willing to work free. I have heard that in my previous company. There
Yes,
are
it
people who are waiting
happens.
to work for free, so you're replaceable there, pretty much.
Yeah,
Unless
because
you're like,
yeah,
yeah, go
because
ahead.
I have like seen a lot of folks, even you must have seen in your post graduation days, where a lot of folks are doing internship, like unpaid internships, right? And
Right,
unpaid internships in big firms.
right.
It's a bit of controversial, but I would say that the bigger the firm, you can't expect everything from them. If you're getting a brand name, that's good enough for your CV. Definitely it's going to help you out there. All the folks who are
Hmm.
doing their summer internships, if you're getting a good brand
Right.
name, it will definitely build your CV. It will do great things for you in future, and would make you more eligible for, like, not more, but yeah, eligible, good enough. Would rather
Hmm.
increase your chances by a 1 or 2% in the final
Hmm.
placement, obviously. But yeah, uh, in that thing, if you are pursuing a job, your first job, especially as a fresher
Right.
in a big company, then there's a lot of risk you can face. So you better be
Hmm.
prepared if you are aiming for big fours, if you're aiming for such big companies. So you better be ready, right?
The work culture also is different, a bit different again. There, how I would put it in a good that I'm thinking. But yeah, I mean they're a bit brutal there. And
Yeah.
in small or medium-sized companies, they give you the authorities. What I feel, like in big firms, there's a
Hmm.
particular SOP. You have to just follow that. You have to just do your work, and then you're free. And whereas in as well, you get the authority to change something, to leverage the opportunity as and when given. So I think that's one of the main difference. May
I
or may
believe,
not be true for all, like all of the
yeah,
times, but
exactly.
majority.
Yeah. So that's why I believe, like, when you're entering a big corporate firm, so you
Right.
better have a work experience rather than going as a fresher, I believe. Because
Hmm.
that's way more good for you, because in that case you have experience. If you have like 10 years of experience, now you are entering L&T reality. Okay. So
Hmm.
there, when you'll be working as as a corporate folk who has an experience of like 10 plus years, and a person who's working as a fresher, so there are a lot more freshers waiting out there. But
Right.
getting an opt person with 10 plus experience is rare. Like, it's good enough.
Right.
You must be
Hmm.
working on some big position. And replacing a person on a big position is really difficult as compared to replacing a normal employee or an intern. It's way too
Right.
easy for them because they have multiple better options. Because by each like each passing day, everybody's learning something new, and that's adding up
Hmm.
to their like insights. So yeah, it's very, very
Right.
difficult to manage in such big company in a corporate experience. So yeah, I guess your and mine like suggestion would be same for the folks out there about startup versus big firm. So yeah, you can go ahead. Like, what would you wanna suggest, startup or big firm as their first job?
I think, yeah, I think it depends upon what kind of a person you
Yeah.
are. If you're someone who likes to, initially like follow what other people are doing, and then maybe want to build upon your skills, I think big firm is a better option. And
Hmm.
if you're someone who has always taken initiatives, always have,
Yeah.
done things in their maybe club or committee, or they have organized events or something, they want to do something for
Hmm.
the project or something, or whatever task they have in hand, I think startup may be a good option for them.
Yeah. Because
I'm not
folks
again
who,
generalizing it, but they might, because again they have to take the authority, they have to take the charge, they want to do things, and again you have to take the initiative. So that's all.
yeah, because in big firm you are like bound to do work. Like you have to do this work, do
Right.
it. But when in like a startup company, there like you are part of a project. Like it's huge. And when working in a company, in a small company with some project, on some project, it's really like grateful for like we should be grateful for them because we are getting hands-on experience on that project. We are like practically now learning everything which we used to learn on like theoretical basis or in some events or some clubs and committee thing. So
Right.
yeah, now we are getting it to maintain like a personal touch to it. Like we can give a
Right.
personal touch to every project, and that's the best feeling. Like when a work comes out and there's your like contribution as well to the work, it feels like
Hmm.
great. Okay.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
what are the some of your biggest stressors in your current role, and how do you like manage team effectively?
Mm, again, I think it's too early for me
Yeah.
to think about a stressor, but um, and I think that I would skip this question, because I have not gained much of experience in
Okay.
this field. Again, as I said, that it's a very new field which I'm still kind of
Uh,
going through, experiencing what all things are there. So I think stressor is this one only. I think what I
uh,
would say, that it's something new which I'm trying to learn, new things every day, that
yeah.
this company is there, or this new kind of drug is there, which helps this and this target audience.
Hmm.
So I think that in that way I'm learning every new things every day. So this is only one kind of stressor, because what happens is that in a team there are other people around you who are like, who knows a lot of things in this particular domain. You are just like standing there, what did they just say? I am not getting anything. So I get stressed about that one of, I mean, most of the times. But
Yeah.
then my colleagues, my teammates, they say that it's okay, you
It's
will
okay.
take
Yeah.
your own time. Yeah, you go with your
Hmm.
own pace. And again, if I try to google it at the same time, so that again I do not miss on whatever new things which are coming. So if they are talking
Hmm.
some about something and I'm not getting it, I try to just search it then and there itself.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll just forget it later
Okay.
on.
So, these are the stresses you get when you enter the corporate world. But right
Right.
now, with you, there must have been a lot of folks who are like about to enter their jobs, who are searching for
Mhm.
their jobs. So there's a lot
Mhm.
of stress up before that, and we know that.
Oh,
So,
right.
what were your stresses before getting in, after getting into your company? Like when the period between you getting an offer letter and joining the company, is there
Oh,
any
okay.
anticipation in that period that what will
Huh.
happen? What was the stressor?
So yeah, actually, so I did. We didn't know that what kind of role we are getting. So there was this analyst role and then secondary market research role. So I was very stressed about, like, again, this is something new for me. I had done live project, I had done internship, I've done certifications in the marketing field itself, and I was very stressed that, oh my god, is this something new? What I would do, I would not know the new terminologies they're using, what kind of work culture will be there. Even though I had talked to some of the alumni who are already working, but for me, I was stressing about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think one of the most important stressor is that, will I be able to do it? This is the most, I think, one of the
Biggest
stresses,
stressor.
I would say. Biggest stresses, yeah, biggest stressor is that, will I be able to do what they're doing?
Yeah.
I think that, to answer again this particular stresses, I just don't think about it.
I
Whenever
agree.
you're joining a program, you will do it anyway. You have to do it. And for us, it was early joining. You didn't get a time to think about it because in our college, there were a lot of assessments going on, and then
Hmm.
next day we have to join the company.
Oh my God.
So we didn't get any time to also think about this stressor.
Yeah, because I believe now, I'll tell you why I
Hmm.
asked you this question, because I wanted to tell everybody out there, all the folks who are about to appear in their jobs, that this is common. If you're stressing
Right.
about this thing, it's common, because it
Common.
happened with me. Uh, it happened with her. It happened with all of my friends out there who went
Right.
to their dream companies, who didn't went to their dream companies, who did a different job role, who went for the same job role they wanted to get into. Be it anything, you will stress about it. So you can't escape from that phase, that what if I get a best position, so I won't be having enough stress. Then too, you will be having enough number of anticipation and stress about everything. And what was your
Right.
take to control your anticipations? Like, how did you came over with your stress?
I used to watch movies or series.
That's
The
the best
only thing
thing.
I knew is to engage my brain so that I will not think about it. So I thought that maybe if I go out somewhere, or if I was at my hostel, so I used to watch some series or movies just to not think about it, to ignore those thoughts.
Yeah, just wear a headset and watch your series.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. So,
Right.
looking at the listeners who might be interested in the similar career path you are in right now. So, what are your key advices to them? That if they want to get into this field, you have to learn these things which helped you out there.
Okay, so I think that, one of the in our interview as well, the interview or the aptitude test, there was a lot of stress on the logical side of the things.
Hmm.
So I think that, to build up upon that, and if, like, again, whatever kind of industry you're going to be in, I think that you should read or learn a bit about it. Again, as I said that I had early joining, I didn't have any kind of time to read about it. Again, just after college we had to we have to join the company. But if you're getting time, I think then, it is better, because again, you're not the only one who's joining the company. There are maybe
Exactly.
10, I don't know how many people are joining, but it gives you an edge when, in the instructor in the training period is talking about something, and you already know it. You already know the sales figure, you already know the revenue of the company, you already know, things, if the company is public and it is mentioned on the website. It is good, I think, to know all those things about it. Gives you an edge in front of all the audience, or the colleagues you have in front of the instructors as well. Apart from that, see what kind of, the JD, again, it was shared with all of the students. So if it requires any kind of hard skills like Power BI or SQL or something like that,
Learn that.
or maybe, yeah, not just fully, but at least have an idea, so that when the instructor who is going to teach you there in the training period or something like that, you
You're not
already
blank.
know the view of it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
are
yeah.
at
You're
least,
not blank.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in my training as well. There were people, who were answering questions already from, a few were from engineering background, knew those things. So the instructor were interested to know the story of those people. Like, so why did you learn this? How did you learn this? What kind of sources did you? So I think
Yeah.
that interest generates a lot of interest in you.
Hmm.
So that gives an edge in front of all the other students, which I mean, colleagues which are there with you. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so what are your three advices to your onboarding juniors or who are going to appear for MBA, who are going to appear for their careers? So, what should be a few things that they should keep in mind before selecting a career path or before selecting a job role?
again, as we had established that job role you just get. So
Yeah.
there's, yes, you can aim for it. You can aim for
Hmm.
it. So I would like to say that prepare your CV in that manner. Like I
Hmm.
had done it, but the things are different. So
Yeah.
do things which are aligned. So I wanted a marketing role initially.
Hmm.
So I had done my life project. I had done certifications. I had done the internship in the core marketing. So what I will
Hmm.
suggest is make your CV aligning with your dream role which you want to
Dream
do.
role. Yeah.
If there are people who want to do some analyst kind of role as well, there are people. So do those certifications which says that you know SQL, you know Power BI, you know Tableau or something like that. So I think that to just know your dream role, build up upon your CV. Second, don't stress about it. You don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows
Yeah.
what is going to happen while
Yeah.
they're sitting on a placement process. I think that just don't stress about it, and work on your presentation skills. This is, I think, because what I have seen is that people who have, even though they're not like the CV is
Pretty
mediocre,
good.
but
Yeah.
they know how to
How to
talk
present
about
it.
themselves, how to present themselves in front of the interviewer or maybe in a GD as well. So they always have an edge above the all the other candidates is what I've seen.
So basically, your interpersonal skills matter a lot. It
Right.
matters a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Because that's
yeah,
the first look now. I mean, people don't judge a book by its cover. It is not true. They do.
they do.
So, yeah, they do. So, at least speak in a way that they'll get interested in knowing you. That,
Yeah.
oh, what things you've done. I want to know that
Yeah.
since your CV is mentioning all this, I want to know this thing. I want to know this thing. This has happened with my interview as well.
Same. Yeah, same.
So,
So,
yeah,
yeah, you said na that a book is judged by its cover. I totally agree. The way all the insights which she gave you, just pen it down because it's gonna help you out there. Because and you will be able to relate when you'll be standing there in her position, because ultimately all these things are gonna happen with you. Your CV, the way you present yourself, way you communicate your skills, about the way you like advertise about yourself, you market yourself in front of
right.
the interviewer matters a lot, and the way you market yourself in your company matters a lot to everyone. And with that, we this podcast comes to an end. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Ruchika. It was really insightful session with you, and I hope all the
yeah,
folks out there have gained a lots and lots of insight, because I too have gained a lot of insights with this one. And I'm
yeah.
gonna pen down a lot of things after the podcast ends. So yeah, do like, share, and
Thank you.
subscribe to our YouTube channel, Skills Sapiens. Thank you, Ruchika. Thank you, all the folks out there.
Thank you so much. Yeah, all the best to everyone who's going to
Yeah,
attempt the
all the
same.
best,
Yeah,
guys.